All right, I'm in the Paradise Islands tournament. I'm in the back nine. So let's go check out hole number one. I'm on track. My goal is to shoot a minus 30 plus. So anything better than that, but I've got to stay on top of it. I have no room to let up. Every I've got to put myself in the right spot. So there's a lot of golf left to play. And I'm doing a max overpower hook shot on this. So I'm doing an extra mile and a kingmaker. I'm just playing one hole at a time. I'm not trying to even really focus on what I'm shooting. I'm just trying to play one hole at a time and move on to the next one. Extra mile. Yeah, I'm balancing out the top spin and the right hand side spin. I'm doing half my white ring in the rough and or half of the rough. So I've got the edge of my white ring in the middle of the where that cut of rough. I'm doing a max hook. All right. It's the right ball, and I got the stuff. I'm ready to roll. Let's get on it. Let's see if we can go get an eagle right off the bat. This is the lowest hanging fruit. Hole number one and hole number two, these are the lowest hanging fruit. So like if we're gonna grab an extra shot, these first two holes are key. Hopefully I go first. Wake up. Maybe. I go first. Okay, so I'm going to balance them out. I'm coming out here to the point where my white ring is about in the middle of that fairway. It's 2.8. It's 2.1. That leaves me 7, so it's about a third. So it's a ring and a third. And max overpower hook. And I got every bit of that. It's all about this first landing zone. In the clear. Now it's about that rough, bouncing over and then just bleeding up towards the green. Perfect. Perfect. I still have work to do. So I'm not, the crowd went wild, but I've still got work to do. You might count you're being extremely serious walking up there. I put myself in the perfect spot to get the eagle. And now I got to get the work done. Now I really got to execute. I have no idea how many rings that was from whatever. I set that shot up a long time ago by doing like certain amount of rings out, and then we're trying to dial in the spot with the wind that we have in this tournament. So depending on which way the wind's blowing, you might do that a little different. The wind's going to affect it a little differently. I've been working in this week to see what's the closest I could get in, and you have to be no closer than a quarter of a ring on the inside, but that half seems to be the right spot. And I was probably, to be honest, somewhere between a third and a half. I was on the inside of the half by just a little. Take the wind out. It's all about getting over that rough, so you can hit a little low and still bleed out. They got a little unlucky right there. All right, still got work to do. Let's make sure we're not getting any appear and disappear of my ball guide. I'm gonna go right on in between on the outside of the cup. Hitting it perfect. Trying to get starting off with an eagle. All right, woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Starting off with an eagle. Got to get that low hanging fruit. Well, number one is the deal, especially if you can get up there that close. So you got an extra mile 8. You can probably do it with an extra mile 7. The deal is you didn't gain any distance on your extra mile 6, but what you did gain is you gained curl. So you can probably get it done with an extra mile 7. And I know you can get it done with an extra mile 8 because the last time this was in a tournament, I did it with an extra mile 8. This was the only shot. Like, I think this was in the Celtic Cup. And when it was in the Celtic Cup, there's actually 3 holes in this Koh Hung resort that I do max overpower hook shots on. And that's that in the Celtic Cup when they came out, it was in a spring major, I think. Whatever tournament it was, they came out in the very first time. I got second in that tournament, and I did 6 max overpower hooks. And if you hit it, you're up there. They're low percentage holes to get to pick up the shots on. So if you can give yourself an advantage like that, it's big. If you end up in the rough and you have to just pitch up there, you still have a shot at it. This is the next hole, and I'm not playing this hole. I'm not playing this hole for the rest of the week unless it's in the tournament. I don't want to get anything done on that hole. I know how to play that hole. All right, hole number 2, which is that hole. So we already saw it. So let's go prep up for it. Good luck in the tournament. All right, let's go get a hole in one right here. It's just one hole at a time. This hole is a grizzly and a navigator. Grizzly and a nav. That's all I need. I need to buy some navs. I'm doing a 30% wind adjustment. So let me set my calculator up. 1.3 times whatever the wind is. I'm doing 4.5 backspin. I'm going to change that on my notes to 4.5. 1 per ring. All right, that's all I need. Grizzly, Kingmaker. This tournament is sponsored by Kingmaker. If you don't have Kingmakers, the king of balls will get it done. But on like every single one of these holes, the Kingmaker's helping you on every side. It's cutting the wind down on the drive because we're taking the winds out. It's giving a side spin on a couple holes. And all of them, we need 3 power. And we're taking the wind out on the shot going into the cup. So there's not any way that it's not helping us. I'm going to put up at 6 backspin on. You can put more backspin than the 5. You just have to get up there closer. My opponent's got 2.4, so 30% of that would be 6. It'd be like a 3-ring pull. Let's see if they pull 3 rings. They pulled a little shy of 3. See if they hit it perfect. They hit it great to the right. It has a shot going in too. That was great to the right. No, it would have been great to the left, excuse me. And the perfect would have been like right there on the edge of the cup. So 1.3 times 3.5 equals 4.55 win. Doing 4.5. There's 2, 3, 4.5. And I'm going right at it. So I'm doing 4.55 rings. Trying to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get in the cup. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. Just a little bit on the outside. Oh, that wasn't enough of a pull. Or I had it lined up on that side of the cup instead of the left-hand side of the cup. Arrgh. That was low-hanging fruit. I missed that opportunity. And I hit it perfect. That really pisses me off. It's really bad when you hit a shot perfect and it doesn't go in the hole. And I would have had to hit the flagpole there. I had a little bit too much speed. A little too much. I think I can run it out here. Isn't it perfect? In the hole. All right, that was not the hole in one I was looking for. Hole number 3. We got an Albie shot right here, and this is not the best Albie shot in the world, but we do have an Albie shot. And it's definitely one shot at a time. We'll forfeit. And I shot this shot earlier, and I had to recover. I ended up messing up somehow on the wind adjustment and ended up clipping the fairway there. I hit it like great to the left and ended up clipping the fairway. I need to watch on how I set that shot up so that if I hit a great to the left or the right, I want to be deep enough in the rough that I can still stay in the rough. And I had to make a little recovery shot, and I did not like that at all. Hole number 3 is Oasis. Hole number 6. Hole number 6, the bounce diddy bounce diddy bounce hole. The bounce diddy bounce diddy bounce hole takes an extra mile and a Kingmaker. I'm telling you, this tournament's sponsored by Kingmaker. And that's all I need. That's all I need. Off we go. I'm doing a 30% wind adjustment on the drive. I'm doing a 15% wind adjustment to the cup. Hopefully I go first. Ricardo goes first. Rico. Rooker. See if they can get it right. We're using an APOC 4. So similar topspin to what your Extra Mile 8 has. It's 1.6 per ring. So 2 rings is 3. It's 1.7, so 2 rings is 3/4. Bounce, did he bounce, did he bounce? Right on track. All right, let's see if we can get this done. Max topspin. I'm bringing a Kingmaker. What was I doing with that ball? Max topspin, whatever we can get on it. I'm coming back into this area right here. So I'm getting that bounce up on it. Times 2.3 is 3 miles per hour wind, so that's about a ring and a half. You have 1 ring great to the left. And it's 1.15 times. Just bounce-steady bouncing out there. There should be a 1 ring, 2 ring great to the left and right from that spot. You don't want to get too far to the great or the left or the right. 2 rings is probably on the edge of pushing it. But you got a decent 1 ring great to the left or the right, and you're in exactly the same spot. I mean, there may be a few yards difference here and there, but who's counting? I'm trying to be a little bit, okay, so I'm trying to be lower to the hole so that I can put on a little bit of left-hand side spin, but I don't want to be so low that I put this fairway into play because it's not in play on the first bounce, but it's in play on like the second and the third bounce. And if you're off trajectory at the beginning, you'll be okay, but then what'll happen is your second or third bounce will clip that rough. And so I'm trying to stay the hell away from that. When I'm looking out ahead, I'm trying to think of myself of being 2 rings off of that. So if it seems like I'm way far out, it's because I'm looking ahead and seeing what's happening ahead of me where my second and third bounce is, and I don't want to have anything to do with that. That's an epic fail up there. You get caught in the rough up there. This green is tough to come in at. It's tough to come in at when you're short, long, or anyway. So you want to be on the green like this. We're just barely off, so you have a nice little chip in, and my opponent will have a nice upward flow here. Times 3.5 equals 4.02 rings, so it's right at 4 rings. I'm going to try and be low enough that I can involve just a little teeny bit of side spin. And I've been on the outside of the cup. It's pushing me off. So I'm going to do 4 rings. I'm going to have to snap this off. Oh, and I hit it great to the right. Arrgh! I should be down there by where my opponent's at. I hit it great to the right and it actually went left of the cup. That's what I'm saying. I left it inside the cup. I left it like what would be the right. I left it inside of the cup and it's pushing it past the cup like quite a ways. And if you take more wind out, it doesn't seem like I'm not sure that's the answer. It might be. I may have to do like a 40 or a 50% wind adjustment on it and aim right at it. But it's pushing it way off. You definitely don't want to use any topspin if you can help it on this hole. You want to go up at it. You don't necessarily have to use backspin, but you definitely want to go right at it. Hitting it perfect. You want to go right at it because if you start putting topspin on it, the ball guide's going to get all wanky on you because there's so much slope. And so it's better to come up there and do the little backspin hop. All right, next hole. Next hole is that par 3 that I had a little bit of problems with on the front, but I feel comfortable with what I'm doing there. It's just I got to get I obviously need to hit perfect. Not playing this hole, not falling for that. Not falling for that trick. Good luck in the tournament. Staying on track for the minimum score on that hole. So let's go to the next hole, which is hole number 7 of the Oasis. This is hole number 13 of the Paradise Islands tournament. Hole number 7. Yeah, this is the bounce that he bounced par 3. And I'm doing a rough bump on. This is not one of my favorite par 3s in the game. Ball guide through the cup. I'm taking a sniper and a kingmaker. And if I had a 4 side spin ball, I'd be bringing it. Because this is a hole that a 4 side spin ball would work on. Because it only takes 1 backspin. Okay, it's 20% at max. So it's 1.2 times whatever the wind is. 1 backspin, max left-hand side spin. And I have a little bit of curl, and it's on the green curl line down there. So 3.1, 3.1. It's 3.72 rings. And I'm going to put on max side spin and 1 backspin. I got to get up in there just to the point where the tail starts to weave towards the cup. 3.1, it's 3.72 rings. There's 3.72. Right back to my red line, and that's a little bit, half a ring into power. Half a ring into power. Oh, I was running out of time, and I went a little too deep into power. And I'm back in the rough. This is exactly where I was at on the front, and I was able to scramble and recover. And it woke my ass up, I can tell you right, on the rest of the round. So here I am in the same spot of bother trying to do that shot. And I'm trying to do that shot so that I can avoid having any problems. So with my automatic, with my 77 account, I may bag the rough bump and just get up there and get my birdie with a Guardian and do the shot from the other side so that I can do backspin to try and avoid all of that roughness in the course. And that's exactly what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this up to a Guardian. I'm gonna forego this shot. Guardian. Kingmaker. Backspin. Because ideally, I mean, like where my opponent's at, that should be like the, that's like a normal shot, not in the rough twice in a row. Okay, wind should not play a factor here. Hitting it perfect. See if I got enough speed to get up there. That's okay. Woo! That's twice in a row I've had to recover on that hole. And I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you the same thing I told you on the front. I am wide awake right now. Wide awake. Like I was just kind of like sleepwalking through the round, and I am wide awake at this moment, boys and girls. That was too damn close for comfort. That wasn't just like an epic fail. That was an epic fail on the minimum score level. That was a non-recoverable. That was a losing shot. I am not playing that. All right, let's get the hell away from that hole. And I am changing that up in my other account. I'm not playing the rough bump. If the rough bump's going to be, and something's different there, and I'm just not, I'm hitting my red line, and I wasn't doing that before. I suppose I could fix that by bringing out a bigger power ball, but it's that red line issue. So I'm just going to switch to the old Guardian shot that gets me a birdie every single time. All right, the next hole is Oasis, hole number 8. This is hole number 14 of the Paradise Islands tournament. All right, here we go. Hole number 8. Is this the split? This is the split. And I'm going Kingmaker Extra Mile. Who's this tournament sponsored by? Kingmaker. Kingmaker. Extra Mile. Hornet. Those are the only 3 things I need. If I need anything other than that, something went horribly wrong. But if there is a club that will get me out of whatever that horribly wrong is, it's in that bag. I have 2 long irons in my recovery stuff, so I have one of the accounts. We've got a Spitfire like level 1 or 2. I think it's the 88 account. It's got a Spitfire in it, and so Kyle plays with the Malibu. But I've played in that account a few times and shot some video with that account. And when I go in there, I set the bag up, and I immediately put that Spitfire on. I could care less what that Spitfire has, as long as it has all that. It has 120 distance. And I think it's like at level 2, it gets the 120 distance. That's all I care about. 2.5. I can scramble when I get up there and just get up on the green and limp up and do my deal and go out just a little farther. Hitting it perfect. 2 rings off. Let's see if I moved it out a little. 2 rings off. 2 rings off. Right down the center. That's the goal. I was trying to give myself plenty of room on every side. I'm trying to straighten out the S curve. And I got it right down the pike. Okay, so we're doing a straight up shot here. I'm not doing any wind adjustment other than just a normal wind adjustment. So it's whatever the wind is divided by 1.75 per ring. And I want to be 5 rings back. I learned that from my opponent. I watched my opponent do their shot, and they seemed like they got a better run on it when they were 5 rings back. So they weren't like I was pressing up where I was only 2 rings off the transitional serve. So I was only 2 rings into the rough. I want to be about 5 rings into the rough. The ball guide seems like it's running a little truer. So it's 2 point divided by 1.75. So it's 2.14 rings, or excuse me, 1.14. There's 1.5. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. Right in that neighborhood, maybe 2. Now I'm gonna hit it great to the left. Arr! Arr! What is it? In the hole. Arr! Where in the hell is the R emoji? All right. Take a deep breath. It was just one hole. How many I got left? I have 4 left. What is it? Two par 5s, a par 4, and a par 3. So I've got some shots here. Got some Albie shots coming up. Albie be a great separator, like giving myself a shot. I did hit an Albie on the next hole. I think in the opening round in one of my accounts. I think it was in my 77 account. So I came in with a 27 with an Albie tiebreaker. The deal is I hit the next 2 holes in my 77 account, and I hit them both. I hit one with a great to the left and one with a great to the right. And since then, I've made wind adjustments, and I'm on the right track now. So if I hit it perfect, it should go in. I will forfeit, and I need to pick some shots up. And this next hole is the spot, so I'm on the Albie thing here. So I've got a shot, and now I'm in the last 3, and the last 3 all opportunity. So what hole is this? This is Koh Hong Resort, hole number 3. We're back on Koh Hong Resort. Koh Hong Resort, hole number 3. Okay, we looked at it. That's all I need. Just for video purposes, let me go look at it here just real quick. All right, so that's the hole. In case I cut this one out. All right, hole number 14. I'm bringing. Wait a second. We're on hole number 15. Right, okay. I'm bringing a rock and a kingmaker. Switching my number 2 bag up to a rock because here I can use all of the distance on the rock. Bringing a kingmaker. This tournament's sponsored by Kingmaker. The ball to use on every hole and a sniper. We're going at it. Minus 15% to the cup. Plus 10% on the drive. And I'm doing a center tick, a curl. So I'm bringing the left-hand edge of the ball to the center of the center line. There's a lot of different ways you could look at it. It's half a ball, a curl. Each one of those ticks represents a half a ball. So the ball on the screen, when it's down in here, you can see it right here. It fits in between those two ticks. So the center line in the programming is at 50%. So it's right dead center in the middle of the screen. And those two ticks are 10 percentage points away from them. So it represents 10 percentage points. So there's a bunch of different ways that you could look at it. I haven't figured out exactly what the terminology is because I'm still trying to use all this stuff and what I just will naturally know in my mind. I'm going to be right to the point where I'm just clipping it. 2.6, so I'm doing 2.8, pretty close to 3. I'm doing 1 ball of curl, or 1/2 a ball. Isn't it perfect? And that should put me 2 rings of separation off of that, 2 rings of separation off of that, and right down the middle. And end me up about 2 rings of separation on the bottom. So if I hit a 2-ring grate on the inside, it may or may not bleed out into the rough right there, but I can recover from down at the very end in the rough with a Nirvana. And that'll put me at minimum sniper, but I'm hitting a maximum ring adjustment at 1 per ring, and I'm doing minus 15%. Of whatever this wind is. I'm seeing Albie right here. Need to pick up a shot, and this is a great opportunity. I put myself in the right spot. So 3.6 equals 4.14 rings. We've got 2 rings off. I'm just going to dial it right up to the cup. I'm going to move it 4.14 rings. Or excuse me, it's 3.6 times 0.85. It's 306. Almost screwed up. There's 3 rings. Oh, and I hit it great to the left. Got a little laggy there and got rushed. Damn it. Damn it. That was right there. Dag nabbit. I still got some work to do. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. Going to a shootout. It's a draw. It's a draw. All right. I got to put that hole behind me. These obbies are tough. I will forfeit, maybe. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Oh, I think I stopped and I missed a hole. I'm not sure where I missed. I apologize for that. I think I paused the video and it didn't, and I went to go hit replay and it didn't do it. So I think I might have missed a hole. I'm on hole number 18. So let's see where I'm at as far as I'm on track for a 30. And the top place right now is 28. So I've got my finger on the pulse of getting the score that I was looking for. Coming in was a 30. That's what I'm looking for. And I came in like 20th in tiebreaker. So the only chance that I have is to shoot a 30 plus. So we're on hole number 9 of Koh Hong Resort. So there's an Albie shot here. So I could get the Albie on this last hole. Let's make sure I am recording now. Damn, that's depressing. All right, I'm taking a QB because the QB is actually netting me more distance on the forward trajectory than the rock was, and I was at like plus 10. Taking a sniper as my secondary. I'm taking a Kingmaker because this tournament truly is sponsored by Kingmaker. I know most of these tournaments are sponsored by Titan, the king of balls, but Kingmaker stepped up to the plate this time and said, no, boys, I'm the one. All right, QB. I'm at the pink line. Oh, let's see if I can step out. Put my grid on and step back in. Okay. So I'm going over to that pink line. And I'm at plus 10. Buying a pack. I already bought one. That's how many that's how many Kingmakers you use. I probably have a Kingmaker lookalike somewhere in there. So I'm going to plus 10 and I'm 2.5 rings off. Max top spin, max side spin. And that's putting my second bounce right up on the smoother part of the plateau. And a 30% wind adjustment, or 33 miles per hour. I'm going over to the pink line. And I hit it one ring great to the right, which would put me towards the shadows, towards the trunks of the trees. Oh, that's bad. That's super bad. That's epic failing on hole number 18. That's bad because that puts the whole deal about going to the right hand side is that puts your eagle at risk. If you epic fail on the drive, you just put your eagle at risk. If you go from the left hand side, you're guaranteed an eagle every time. Well, not guaranteed, but I mean you still got to make the shots. But you got an eagle over there pretty easy, but you have 0 Albie shot. So if you play to the right, you're playing for the Albie shot. But if you epic fail on the drive, you just took eagle off the board. And I just took eagle off the board. Not only did I take eagle off the board, I put my birdie. Now I'm playing for birdie. So I gotta be smart, trying to get up there to put myself in a good spot to see if I can get back on eagle track, having to scramble at the very end of the tournament. Look at that. I could have choked. I might have choked. And my opponent choked as well. They can't help me. They're even in a worse spot. Let's see how far up I can get. If I can get to the other fairway, I'll be fine. So I'm going to leave the wind in. The wind's going to push me forward too. It's going to push me out into that area so I can get up there and get into my chip range. I'm going to put as much overpower as I can on it without making it go any faster. Hit it one ring great to the right. And that should lay me up out there in front, so I'll have a pitch to get on. It's not the perfect spot to be, but that gives me a great shot to get back on track to get my eagle, and having to scramble at the very end of the tournament. So that's perfect. Having to scramble wouldn't be worthy if I couldn't make this shot. And I could have put overpower and got up there, but the deal is that you take a risk when you put on overpower, and I take these types of shots all the time, and so this is why I take these shots. Okay, there's Max Rapier up there, so I got plenty of room on my Max Club, but I'm definitely going to get affected by wind. The wind's going to push me off in that direction. So I'm going to go right on the edge. I'm going to split the difference on the cup. Hit a one ring great to the right. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Jeez. Almost ruined my whole round on the 18th hole. Wanted to go in with a 30. That was my goal. My weekend goal is my goal throughout the week was minus 13, minus 26, minus 28 would be like the men's, and minus 30 was my goal. Because I think if you shoot a minus 30 in most brackets, not in every bracket, but in most brackets, you're going to win if you shoot a minus 30. And if not, you're going to be right up. You're going to get a banner. At minus 28, you may or may not get a banner, and you may or may not get a win. You could on both. You could be at 28 and get a banner. You could be at 28 and win. But you could be at 30 and come in third. So but I do think that if you shoot a 30, you're going to get a banner. Wow, that was close right there. That was close. All right, minus 30. That's that was the score I was looking for, and that was the score that I had to recover 3 times. So I had 3. So out of but 18 holes, that means 3 times I didn't get the shot that I was looking at to come into the cup. So I only had 15 opportunities to pick something up. 24 is the minimum. So I picked up 6 out of 15. That's a little less than half. 7 would have been better. Had a few shots out there that I blew, but I will take that round. That should put me up in a banner in this bracket. I think somebody came in with a 30. I could have swore there was at least 130 coming into the bracket. We're down 47. We've got somebody who hasn't finished. Now we're starting to get, when we get below 50, we're starting to get into people that have not finished. I'm not sure what the cutoffs would be, but we got 50 people down here that are still playing. So I'm not sure if that'll hold up, but I definitely put the hammer down. So if somebody wants to beat me, they're going to have to get better. The only thing that I wished I would have got there was an Albie, so that I had an Albie tiebreaker, because somebody could pick up an Albie and beat me with a 30 and an Albie. But not a bad round. All right, that was the weekend round for the Paradise Islands tournament in my odd account. I'm going to play my 77 account next. I'm going to take a break and then play my 77 account. I might split it up the same way I did this, where I play 9 and do the deal, but I'm going to play it next, and I'm looking for a minus 30 plus. That's the deal. That's the goal. So see if I can back it up. Do it again. Thanks for watching.